Good morning. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the fifth version of episode in our webinar series. And today I'm in a special place. I'm not doing this webinar from a remote one office. I am in Alexandria, in Egypt. And this is popular port area, Lamina. All right, excellent. So I feel the good vibes. In fact, I just wanted to share these vibes with you. That's why I decided to do the webinar from an outdoor place. I'm in a nice restaurant here called Streamline to Taipei Castle. It is the place where the Manara, which is what does mean Manara mean? Like the Alexandria light bulb or something that used to be here 2,000 years ago or something. And now it's built, another castle is built on the place of that area. And this is really exciting. It's not. And Egypt in general has something kind of fascinating when it comes to culture, history, food, people, weather. And we are in summer. It's like 31st of May today, and yesterday it was heavily raining, heavily. Something good. It's not very popular, but anyway, it happened. So that's why I love the Alexandria the most. And I just wanted to share this with you. Okay. So today our webinar is going to discuss the workflow automation in Bitrix24, and hopefully you will learn something that helps you, streamline your business operation, increase the efficiency of your work. By the way, we hear these keywords like operation optimization, streamline your business. What does that mean? I want to show you this in action. Okay, not in the, that's the purpose of my webinar today. So first, as usual, I will start from, today let me share the entire screen. That might be better. And then I will start from the slides. Then we'll go through some sketches that I have prepared for you on the diagram. Then we will see how it looks like inside Bitrix24. Okay. Again, as a reminder, Bitrix24 is a workspace. It's a place where you do your entire work operation, where you keep things, organize things, processes, people, assets, and access permissions. It's the place where you set the governance of your work. That's how you can think of Bitrix, okay? And Bitrix covers more than 50 tools, 50 business tools, with the new release, by the way, that happened like a few days ago. They have added even more cool tools. This stuff we'll cover in another webinar. But again, you can just think of it as there are things under the CRM part, the contact relation or the customer relation management. There are things you do under the tasks and project management. Then there is something related to websites, landing pages, payment processes, online stores, inventory, and that kind of stuff. There is another module or another, let's say, area you can think of Bitrix as the main area is the collaboration area. That's where the team communicates together, connect. And by the way, this is the topic for the next webinar, which is organizing your work from like remote work management kind of, let's say, okay. And then there is the HR and automation. We will discuss automation today, okay, but HR is also a good module in business. And all of these main modules are powered by Copilot, AI module from Microsoft. So today we are going to discuss as I mentioned, the workflow automation. So let me go right into that slide. Yes, there you go, workflow automation. So workflow automation, what do we mean by workflow? The workflow is a set of actions or items that happen in a certain sequence based on a certain trigger that you decide at the beginning of the journey, the process. And this can happen on an automated fashion or on a manual fashion to trigger the workflow. For example, we can say when we receive a payment, we need the following to happen, okay? And you can decide, for example, when we receive a payment from client, we need to automatically send him invoice, automatically send him receipt of payment, automatically notify certain departments to do certain things, automatically create a task, automatically create a meeting or create a project or a work group and add these people to the work group and then start distributing certain tasks to them. And when task X in the process is done, then generate another document, send a notification to the client. That's one way to do automation. Another way to think of it as workflow automation here is leave approvals, for example, or general requests. Let's say, for example, when an employee wants to request for a leave, then automatically check his balance or their balance, leave balance, I mean. Sorry, excuse me. After checking the balance, also notify, send to her or his direct manager for the employees to approve or reject. Notify HR to look that, and so on. If it is rejected, then do another thing. And this is the kind of automation we're talking about. Okay. Uh, we always, when we encounter an automation project, a workflow automation project, we start with a plain sketch like so. We just open our diagram and we start setting the beginning and the end and the process of the automation. So صباح الورد. أيوه. So start. Okay. So this is the starting. Let's say the starting step. So what happened here? And then we say, okay, when the workflow starts, as we mentioned, we can say when it is connected to, let's say, a payment, or when someone from the employee requests for a leave, or when a customer fills a form in the website. Any trigger. Again, it can be automated trigger, or it can be a manual trigger. And then what do we need to have? After that, for example, we do action one. Okay. And then maybe action one has two different scenarios. Like, for example, when we, let's say, receive a payment from the client, we need the system to check for which product is that client. So we can say, okay, this is an if condition. Okay. So if the product is X, then do option one. For example. Okay. And if the product of the customer purchase, let's say, do option two. Again, it's just diagram. That's all. We just want, before we start the automation, we need to sketch the process. That's how we do it. Part of the business analysis and the system analysis afterwards. So once you understand how things work, okay. By the way, this can go as far as you want. Here, for example, here we can say generate document, and then we can say not just generate document. We need also to perform like a series of actions simultaneously together, and then also not just generate document, but create a task. Okay, create a task. So, and let me just do this. So create task one, and task one is like as we explained in the previous webinar when we discussed some of the task and project management. Tasks can be preset. You can write the task, the description of the task, set who should do this task, how long they should take to finish the task, and so on. Okay, and you can also say, I need not just to create a document and create a task, but I need you also to schedule a meeting. Maybe the client, for example, has booked an appointment in a clinic. Okay, maybe you have a, let's say, clinic or something. So the client has booked a meeting or books an appointment. So once they pay, you book that meeting. Okay, in the calendar, book that room or that doctor or that resource or that, if it is for schools or education, same story applies. And again, you can, as I mentioned, keep setting these rules or these automations as you go. Maybe, for example, when we book the meeting, the system can wait, and we can say, all right, let's apply here another if condition. Excuse me. Okay, so another if. Let's say maybe the customer or the client didn't show up, or maybe the client or the customer did show up. I think we don't just say, yeah, on time. They did show up. If they didn't show up, maybe we can say, okay, a task to call, reschedule, task to call and reschedule, or maybe not just a task to reschedule, but also a task to reschedule and a message to the client, a WhatsApp notification, send WhatsApp message, something like we I'm sorry that we couldn't make it. Let's reschedule with a reschedule link, maybe, okay. And if they did show up, maybe here we have another thing, which is okay, prepare the treatment plan or share the treatment plan, okay, send a treatment plan. I don't know why I just took the medical case here as a case to analyze the process, but again, this applies to anything, by the way, okay. We applied this concept to other uh, industries like real estate, like engineering, like education, professional services. You know, it applies literally to anything that you can process, anything you can load. So that's the idea, you see, and we keep building on that, see, until we understand the flow. And once we understand the flow, we do the system analysis. So this is kind of business analysis, okay, process mapping. We just write the process. And then we need to go and find the system and the tools that are required to build this. Again, it's on system, it's on Bitrix24. So when we say system analysis, it's just kind of understanding what are the components and the options that we're going to use inside Bitrix24 to make this happen. Okay, is it going to be a smart process automation, SPA? Okay, is it going to be a regular? Is it going to be like a new solution that we set on the menu? Is it going to be a solution that is in the CRM itself, and so on? You know, just we need to gather these requirements and match it to the system tools that we're going to apply or to use in order to make this happen. That's the big picture. By the way, workflow automation for, let's say, new people who are just recently started with Bitrix is not something maybe you can do yourself. That's where our role comes in here as partners, Bitrix partners, to help you with the automation, the business analysis, providing our advice and consulting on that matter, and then transforming these processes into an actual tool or an actual item inside your Bitrix account that you can use. Okay, so let me give you a quick look into how this can be navigated inside Bitrix. All right. I hope, by the way, you still can see me, you can hear me. If there's anything, please send me in the chat. Yeah, all good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I copy back to this one. So no, sorry, not this one. This is the demo account as usual. Just to show you how things look like. So inside Bitrix, there is, if you look to the menu to the left, there is automation here. And if you couldn't find it, just in the search here, write automation or workflow automation, and there you go. You can find it. Okay, and here you can see the set or let's say the previous workflows that is already running or run in the past, and you can just look into it and analyze it, and take action on it. Here you can see automation rules and triggers to set something, like, for example, when a deal is closed or when an invoice is paid, and so on. So you can set on that. Other triggers when a task, for example, is closed. Like, for example, we have a project that has certain tasks. When such task usually closes, then I need you to do something. Or a signature, when a document is signed, when a client signs the contract, let's say, then run that workflow, something like that. Okay. And then here are the automated solutions that you build. Like, these are some of the demo automation workflows that we have already customized in the past, and you can see them here. Again, this is the demo account. That's where we keep the automation tools. By the way, the food is coming. It's not delicious. I will show you a glimpse of it. Okay, quickly. But again, So this is where you can find the previous automation flows or the solutions that has been designed or done. Okay. So for example, these are automations for hiring recruiters. So we have a solution that does or that can help your HR team work on hiring and recruitment from the moment someone applies to a job to the moment they become they become an employee, onboarded. They have the right tools, the right access, the training, the knowledge transfer, the onboarding, everything. So what should happen? Who should do what? Again, if you remember, this is the flow. This is how we do it. Thank you. I will show you some glimpse of what we are doing. Okay, for what we are eating. Shelty. فطير فطير مشلتت فطير مشلتت still not didn't come yet. Okay, طيب. So this is how we design the again the process, and this is example of it is the recruitment part where we go here. Okay, and other solutions like this is something for real estate, property catalog, property management, and so on, lease management, and so on. And from another side, we can also see if you go to CRM more left, CRM settings, yeah, and to the left we can see here automations, and here are the business processes. We build it here as well. So inside the business processes, we can set the business processes according to the elements. For example, I'm creating the business process that is only have something to do with the lead pipeline, or with the contract, or with the companies, or with the deal pipeline, like certain entities, or with customized other solutions that we have created. And from there, we can plan this diagram, take certain items, insert it into the application, and so on. Okay. Again, because this topic is, as I mentioned, a little bit sticky, okay, and requires some extra customization. It's not like something simple you can do yourself. Unless you know what you're doing, I will not spend more time talking about that. But I just want you to understand the concept and know that we can help you do it. Okay, and no matter how complicated or big you think your automate or your workflow or your projects are, chances are we can automate them in a workflow. And this applies to any industry. That's just I want you to take. This is the biggest takeaway, in fact, that I want you to deal with is that automating your workflow is possible. It doesn't matter how big or complicated it is, and also it does help you create kind of efficiency or increase the performance of your operations. Why? Because you will rest assured that everything is done or working according to the governance or to the liking, let's say, that you want. Okay, however you like it to be, however you want it to be, it can be designed according to that. And this helps you, it just gives you the peace of mind. Okay, at least the peace of mind. Anyway, this is it for our webinar today. I'm not going to take longer, as I mentioned. I'm in a nice place. I just want to enjoy the last day in Alexandria before going back to Abu Dhabi. And at the same time, that the topic can get complicated. So I don't want this to become like a development training or something. I'm sure most of you won't be interested in that. We just want to know that this is possible, this can be done. So if you have any questions about what we have discussed today, you can drop it in the chat. Also, if you are watching this webinar on a replay mode, you can still ask questions. Send it to the chat. We will get back to you either by email, or maybe we call you since you have registered. For sure, we have your contact details and answer the question. And also, we may consider or we may answer that as well in the next webinar. And speaking of the next webinar, I just again shared the link for registration for the next webinar. You can see it in the chat. And the next webinar is going to be managing remote work teams in Bitrix24. All right, that's it for today's webinar. Thank you very much for joining me here, and wish you the best. Take care. Bye.